Good afternoon. The lights come on, it must be 1 o'clock. I'll call to order the February 15th, 2022 meeting of the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority. Item 2 is item from the chairman, and I don't have anything today. Item 3 is the minutes of our December 21 meeting. Does anybody have any corrections? I need a motion, please. We have a motion and a second. Cast your vote.
I vote for. I'm not online.
Trustee Kasperite, how do you vote?
Affirmative.
We're voting on the minutes, Councilwoman.
Okay.
That item passes. Item 4 is a consent docket. We have the Oklahoma River Corridor Events update. Any questions on that? Need a motion? Have a motion and a second. Cast your vote.
Trustee Kasperite, how do you vote?
He said
Mine is still loading, so I'll also vote yes.
Okay. Trustee Williams, how do you vote?
that item passes. Item 5, primary agenda items. Item A is a river maintenance project update. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Jess Shumway, Oklahoma City Public Works. The February Public Works report is as follows. The Oklahoma River sedimentation dredging contract, we're still removing considerable amounts of sediment from that area. We anticipate being completed by early spring. Floating dredge for river operations, contracts for that were received and approved for the purchase, and we anticipate delivery in March of 2022. Our SCADA system contract, we've got work orders that have been issued for non-working sensors. That's kind of been ongoing. However, recently one of the projects will be to add solar-powered radio technology to the half-mile upstream of each dam, and that is actually a control well, so that'll allow movement of the gates. Our river hydraulic repairs, we're on the final 2 cylinders, and that will actually complete the entire river corridor of cylinder replacements. We've also got a structural inspection that was completed. The investigations are now done, and we're just waiting on the report to come back. We anticipate that in the spring. The river maintenance facility addition is currently under design. We anticipate construction to begin by December. The river maintenance Public Works issued a work order for the reestablishment of the riprap, and we've added about another 810 tons to the eastern dam spillway to prevent further erosion. And our river maintenance crews have removed 2¼ tons in December and 8 tons of debris in January. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Need a motion to accept that report? We have a motion and a second. Cast your vote.
Trustee Williams, how do you vote?
That item passes. Item B is the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority schedule of cash receipts for the period ending December 31. Do we have any questions on that? Need a motion? We have a motion and a second. Cast your vote. That item passes. Item C is a resolution accepting the annual inventory of the Oklahoma River Rowing and Canoe Kayak Race Course, including the City of Oklahoma City property obtained by the Riversport Foundation through a tobacco settlement endowment trust grant and transferred to the city by the Office of Management and Enterprise. This is a yearly inventory they have to turn in to us for that equipment that was purchased with the grant. Any questions? Need a motion? Have a motion and a second. Cast your vote. That item passes. Item D is a resolution authorizing the Riversport Foundation to offer limited, event-specific camping within its Boathouse District leaseholds for the USA Freestyle Kayaking National Team Trial scheduled for March 14th through the 20th, and requesting the staff work with the foundation to establish the terms and conditions for the event camping consistent with the applicable laws, rules, and policies. This is something new that they're asking for. It is specific to the event, and it is specific to people engaged in the event for the time period that's there. And this resolution makes them get with staff and make sure that all of those are all of the details are worked out. Some of the concerns I have is that are they going to, I would like for you to have somebody to check them in and out. Somebody, you know, if they sign up to camp, you need to know who they are. Are you going to have a specific area that you're going to maintain them in? And what about sanitation facilities? So,
Hi, thank you for allowing me to speak. My name's Tegan Malone. I am the National Events Manager at Riversport. Part of the culture of freestyle canoeists and kayakers is to travel around the country in their vans, and they usually live out of their vans and bring their equipment with them. And so the variance that we're asking for is to allow that to happen while they're on site. It takes a lot away from the experience that they have at other venues whenever they have to go to hotels or places off-site. So what we are proposing is to have them camp at our facility. Just during these event periods, they would have access to our facilities. We would definitely have a check-in and check-out. They would be assessed a fee, a rental fee, similar to a rental fee. I guess we would have to have a better term for it, but have a fee assessed so that they would be able to camp on the property. And I think I might have missed one of your questions. I apologize. Let me think. Was there something else that I had missed?
well, no. Are you going to have security?
Yes.
Because we have people in the city that see camp tents go up and they're going to think another site is available.
Yes,
You're going to
sir.
need to have somebody down there making sure only the people that are supposed to be there are there.
Yes, sir. We are in the process of moving towards having 24-hour security at the site. I believe that we will have all of the campers located in one central area, you know, nicely arranged. There will not be trash, and it will not have the appearance of having an unhoused camp. So it would, you know, be respectable looking in that respect.
And signs put up, this
Yes, sir.
camping is for event people only.
Yes, sir.
Well, I share in the chairman's concerns, and I had expressed those previously. So, you know, in reading through the Parks Commissioner's reports, you know, we're already having hot team encounters already in the Riversport area. And so my concern would be that this, as the chairman mentioned, that it is going to open up an opportunity, whether by fact or by fiction, that continues on after the event is over. And so I'm really concerned about starting a precedent here for not only this event, but for future events as well, because once we do that, then people are going to move in, and we're already having a hard time keeping up with that now. And I don't know that 24-hour security is going to be sufficient during the event activity. So if this does pass, then I would hope that during the event that security will be over and above what you're proposing to do in the area that's already needed. Does that make sense?
I will definitely bring that back to my superiors. Yes, I'm sure they would be more than happy to accommodate.
Well, I think on the one hand, I understand the event people and how they like to camp.
Sure.
And that's kind of their lifestyle too. But we also have, as been mentioned, we've got a problem along the river, and we don't want to exacerbate that with allowing it when we're trying to get rid of it at the same time. So
Yes, sir.
I hope staff keeps that in mind when you start working on the agreement. Any other
Chairman?
comments?
Chairman, will we have water hookup or electrical hookup for them?
They typically don't do that. Everything that they have is self-contained. Most of the people that I've come across that are in the freestyle community, they are usually self-contained. So it's not like a traditional RV. It's like a camper van, or just like a regular Ford Econoline van that's been transformed so they can sleep in it. They do a lot of their living outside of the van. Not like setting up chairs and stuff, but like going places to go do their laundry and prepare food and things like that. So it's more or less just kind of like a sleeping arrangement.
How many campers do you anticipate would want this service?
Do you have an estimate? 20. About 20.
Is it generally one person to a van?
No, ma'am. I know from past experiences, sometimes a lot of our up-and-coming athletes in the United States are going to be teenagers, 14 and 15-year-olds that don't drive. So usually mom or dad will drive the van across the country, and then they'll have the child with them. Some of them are in the early 20s, and they'll team up and have 2 or 3 people to a van just to save those costs as they're traveling around the country for the competitions. So we will have a range, I think, to answer your question.
Any other questions? I want to make sure the trust understands this resolution will give staff the ability to work an agreement out with the Riversport Foundation. We will not see that agreement back here before it's time for the camping, because that happens in March. So if you're opposed to this, you need to oppose it now in the resolution authorizing the agreement, because you won't get a chance to vote on it again. Sounds bad, but that's timing-wise, that's what's going to happen.
Mr. Chairman, will you review that before it's signed?
Yes.
Will the Parks Department bring it to you to review?
No, it'll be staff.
I'm sure they could get it to me, yeah.
If it helps any, we have had a slight variance before when we did urban camping with the Boy Scouts on the island in between our recreational channel and our competition channel at the Whitewater Center. That was a little bit different. It wasn't car camping, it was tent camping. And obviously there were tons of little children in their Boy Scout uniforms running around, so it definitely gives the better visual there.
Any other questions? Need a motion on the item? Have a motion and a second. Cast your vote. And it passes. Item 6 is the claims. We have a claims docket. Any questions on the claims docket? Motion? Cast your vote. That item passes. Item 7 is comments by staff. We have the director's report.
Good afternoon, thank you. Melinda McMillan Miller, Director of Parks and Recreation. Thank you for your service today. I wanted to you have a lot of information in your report and in the actual packet, but I wanted to also just kind of give you a brief update on the current GEO bond projects that are occurring on the River Trust Authority's properties. You'll see the slide in front of you is a representation of what is happening on the river for the new trail spur that we're creating called the Greenway Trail. It actually links from the Boathouse district across the north shore of the river, going due east/northeast as the river turns, east up to Northeast 4th Street. And then from 4th Street, it goes back due west, back to Douglas Park, to the James Stewart Golf Course, where it connects to the Katy Trail. This is one of those last closing loops that we have to put in to finish that full inner circle loop that's across the city. So this one is actually under construction now. You'll probably see dirt being moved around in the Boathouse district as they work on getting that trail put in. And then you'll see it keep moving eastward as they go. We expect this to take about a full year to complete. It will add some new parking amenities, and it will add landscaping, some lighting in different areas as it goes under the overpasses for the I-35 bridges, and then also where it goes through the O'Connor property. We are actually holding that piece back as we're going to work with the Chickasaw Nation on how we're going to enhance that amenity within their property. But we are putting in and installing the north shore of the river, that trail there. So there will be a full connection from literally West River Trail all the way through the river corridor, all the way up to 4th Street. So we're really excited for this one to get finished. Next slide, please. That just kind of shows the outline again of the Greenway. The other project I wanted to mention that we just completed is the Wiley Post Park improvements. As you might know, Wiley Post Park is between Walker Avenue and South Robinson Avenue on the south shore and north shore of the river. Not many people realize it is actually a park that was bisected in two pieces. The north shore of the river will come in phase 2. So for now, with phase 1, what we were happy to improve was we actually opened up a whole nother entrance into that park off of Walker Avenue, which is brand new. And so we were very excited to be able to offer one way in, and instead of one way in, one way out, we now have 2 ways in, 2 ways out, which really helps the traffic congestion through that park. We also moved all of the driveways and parking lots to the south end of the park, which completely freed up the entire rest of that green space section for actual parks and recreation use and play. This park is heavily used by people who come and do concerts and events in this park, and it will really help open up that entire green space now for that purpose and use. Phase 2 we hope to develop soon, as we will be really aware and cognizant of the connection of Lower Scissortail Park as it does dead end at the very border of Wiley Post Park to the north. So we want to make that a more fluid connection down to that park area and down to the river shore itself. And then as well, keep on that process of connecting our roads within the park to have better accessibility, better parking, and then just better access and visibility for all the park patrons and kids running around for all those vehicles, and make it a much safer experience. So if you have any questions about those 2 projects or anything else that's going on in the Parks Department, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Thanks, Melissa.
Thank you.
Need a motion to accept that report? Have a motion and a second. Cast your vote. That passes. Do we have any comments by trustees? Any citizens wanting to be heard? Hey, Mike.
Hello, everyone. Mike Knopf with Riversport. I wanted to share with everyone that next week, next Tuesday, Arshay Cooper is going to be coming to Oklahoma City. Arshay is the author of A Most Beautiful Thing. He's the subject of the documentary that is you could watch on Amazon Prime right now. It's a really inspiring story about how he helped start the first African-American rowing team in inner city Chicago, and how he's become really a prolific speaker across the country about engaging urban youth into the sport. And so we are bringing him to Oklahoma City next week. He's going to speak to Rotary, but we're taking him to Douglas High School, FD Moon, in Millwood, because we're working to start rowing programs at each of those schools. And really think this is really a powerful opportunity. We think this is Oklahoma City's chance to have our own most beautiful thing, because if you see the documentary, I think you'll recognize that, gosh, we can do this, we can easily do this considering our venue and our proximity. So it'll be here next Tuesday and Wednesday. On Wednesday, we're going to have a reception, or he's going to do a presentation at the Boathouse, at the Devon Boathouse at 5 p.m. Right before that, we're going to have kids down who will have heard him speak at their schools to kind of get a hands-on feel for rowing, but then he'll speak at 5 p.m. We invite all of you to come if you'd like to. It'll be from about 5 to 6 p.m. So that's at the Devon Boathouse next Wednesday. So thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Any other citizens to be heard? Very good. We are adjourned.